Hey, random people out there on the internet. So, a little feedback from some that were talking about they'd like to see more about how to put a shop together. And so I thought, the downside is I've already built my shop. I've already put pretty much everything in it. So the only way to show you is to redo it. So we're going to do that today. And you're going to get a chance to see how I did what I did. And feel free to copy any of it if you're so inclined. So, my shop is empty. No benches, no tools, no nothing. We're just completely empty here. All right, so what we did do from the origins is we put together the French cleat system. French cleats are really neat. They're made out of 3/4 inch plywood. If you want to know how to do it, it's very simple. You take a 5-inch piece of plywood and rip it down the middle at 45 degrees, and that makes both the cleat and the holders. And you just do that until your heart's content. So out of a typical 4x8 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and you do need to use fairly good grade plywood. You don't want a lot of gaps and whatnot in it. But out of a 3/4 inch 8-foot by 4-foot piece of plywood, you'll get 18 8-foot strips like this, which is more than enough to do an entire wall in your shop. So originally when I started doing these videos, I said that what you need tools, material, and a place to work. This is my place to work. My shop is 9 foot by 22 feet, which is comparatively small compared to some of the shops you see out there on the internet. So in order to put everything in here, I had to be very creative. So the next thing we're going to do is start getting some tools. We're going to start with a random orbital sander. We're going to go ahead and make a holder for it and put it up on the wall. So we'll be back in just a minute. So this is the random orbital sander I decided to go with. It's a DeWalt random orbital sander. I put an adapter on there so I can put a 2-foot hose on it. 2-inch hose on it so that it'll collect dust as I go. So I need a place to put it. And since you need to use sanding discs of different grits, I decided to go ahead and build something that has everything I need in one place. Down and dirty. Scrap pieces of plywood, cut little grooves in there so I can slide these guys in and out. I've got extra space here and there, and then the sander. Bingo. So there's one tool down. So the next thing I think I want to look at is some of my flat tools. Chisels and my Japanese saw, maybe a punch or two. And let's see how I do that. Chisels, little Japanese flat saw, things like that. Put a magnet on a piece of wood, hang it on a cleat, put it on a wall. So here we go. One more down, right? Not too bad. So I think I'll make a place for a brad nailer. So we'll see that in just a minute or two. All right, so got a brad nailer. Went with the Ryobi. It's a very inexpensive brad nailer. Not the best, but it works. And of course, you gotta have brads. So let's make a place to put the brad nailer and the brads in one place. Again, just scrap pieces of wood, put it all together, and there you go. It's probably about the only Ryobi tool I still use. Most of my tools are DeWalt. But since I have a Ryobi tool, I need some Ryobi batteries. So let's take care of that. So for my Ryobi tools, I have a 6-pack charger. Put it on a cleat, hang it on a wall. There you go. So I can easily get to them. And they're very secure where they are. I also have some older Ryobi tools that I want to put up there as well. So let me go get those real quick. Okay, I'm back, and I made a holder for my Ryobi tools. Most of the stuff I do, I just make it out of scrap stuff. This is 3/4 inch NBF scraps that I had laying around. Just make little cubbies, slide the handles in there, and it also gives me a nice little shelf up on top. So what are we going to do next? I got some screwdrivers I need to take care of and some other sharp tools. So let me get those and take care of those. All right, some screwdrivers. Craftsman, cheap set, but it'll work. Again, scrap pieces, made this little hanger for it. So I can just hang it up here. And well, there you go. I also got some pointed things I want to get, so let me go get those real quick. And there we go, got our little pokers and pinchers and whatnot. So, not too bad. Again, just using scrap stuff, you know, whatever you can find. Make something to hold it, put a cleat on it, throw it on the wall. Let me think for a minute, I'll be back with the next idea. I imagine everybody owns a reciprocating saw. Not really a woodworking saw, but everybody needs one. And you need blades for it, so I made a little shelf to put blades on. Made this little hanger. Let's go put it on this other wall. The neat thing about these hangers, even if you just want to get it out of your way, you can just move it somewhere and get it out of your way before you commit to anything. Now we got the saw and the blades in the same place. Again, just scrap stuff, just thrown together so I have a way to put the stuff on the wall. Let me think about it. We'll be right back with some more stuff. For a big project, you might need a belt sander and a place to put it. So let's go put that on the wall. There it is. Done and done. Let's go get something else. Put it on the wall. All right, so I have an assortment of deck screws. I got them all in these creamer cans. I also have some pocket hole screws and some wood screws of different kinds and containers. And I need a big shelf to put them on, so my big shelf. Again, a bunch of scrap stuff I threw together, and we can put it right here. Oh, but wait, it's not going to fit because this other stuff's in the way. But that's the nice thing about French cleats. You can play three-dimensional Tetris with them and move stuff around until you can get it the way you want it. Actually, you know what? I'll just put this guy right down here. Put this one about right there. And hang up my big shelf up here where I wanted it. Actually, I might be able to come down. Yeah, that worked out really well. All right, let me go get my cans and stuff. We'll put them on there and see what it looks like when it's all loaded up. All right, I got my containers of screws put up. Got my pocket screws, all my wood screws and everything, all organized. And you know, in case you're wondering about how strong French cleats are, this is probably 80 pounds on this one, and it's not even worried about it. So that's cool. All right, let's see what's next. Pretty sure everybody has a jigsaw. I've got two, my old Ryobi and my new DeWalt, and blades. Made the whole container so everything's in one place. When I need a jigsaw and blades, I can go to one place, so I'll be in one place. I don't use them often, so I'm gonna put them over here, kind of out of the way. And you can see it starting to fill up that wall with cleats. I think that works really well. Let's see what else I got in store. Pliers, wire cutters, pinchers, scissors, all kinds of stuff that you cut and hold stuff with. Made a little box for it, put little slots in it. On the wall it goes. That thing's about 30, 40 pounds. And again, you don't see anything going on there. And now I've got this magnetic screw parts holder. And since it's magnetic, I think I'll put the other ones right under it. Let's go get those real quick. More magnetic holders. And since that's magnetic, look, it'll even stick through the wood. So out of the way, out of mind, out of space. I can get them when I need them, but they're not in my way. I think you have my stapler. Anyway, electric stapler, place to put the staples, holder to hold it on. I'm just set it right up there and bingo, there we go. So we're still working. Got a lot more to go. If you follow my channel, you know I always end it with most important thing, be safe. First aid kit, ears, eyes. Put a cleat on it, hang it on the wall. And of course, you need this when you're spraying chemicals and whatnot. And we'll just hang that on a screw. So, safety. Also, always remember, keep a fire extinguisher handy in your shop. Okay, make sure it's charged. Check it every once in a while, make sure it's still charged. But you never know when that might happen. So we'll be back with some more stuff in a minute. Stick it. Glue, tape, put it all on one hanger. Find a place for it. And hang it up. There we go. Got all my tape on this. Couple of little dowels here, a bunch of scrap wood. Got some screws here that I hang some wrenches on. We'll drop those on there in a minute. But let's see what else we got out there. All right, you got drills, you got bits. Got bits and bits and bits. And I got router bits, and I got setup blocks, and little screwdrivers, and other assorted things that I need to hang up. So I made this. It's just a simple shelf. And I'm going to put it right over there. That'll work. All right, let's see what's coming up next. Time to clean up. You're gonna need some paper towels. This was a real easy build. Basically, again, just scrap wood that I threw together. Got a dowel in the center of it so I can pull the towels out. And we'll just put this right over here so that we can get to it. That'll work. So I'm gonna finish up this wall, which means I need to get, I got a router I need to put over here and a couple other things. So let me go get those and we'll work on that. Got my D-wall palm or trim router. Got bits for it, wrenches to change the bits out. And for whatever reason, I got a flashlight in here. But again, simple shelf. And I'm just gonna stick it right over here. Well, that'll work. Let's go get some more stuff. All right, got a set of Allen heads here. And sometimes you just need a simple shelf. Now, the nice thing about using scrap wood and French cleats is if it doesn't work out, you can use it for something else or just toss it because it didn't really cost you anything. In this case, I had my squares on here, but it wasn't holding up the way I wanted it to. So I went ahead and I just kept it as a shelf, and I'll put some sorted little BS on there. It's a simple little shelf. And then this guy can just hang right here. That's fine. That'll work. All right, we've almost got this wall filled up. I think I might have one more thing that goes over here. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, filled up my little shelf. I just put a bunch of random stuff on there, a little miscellaneous stuff I had laying around. And some things you don't need a hanger for. So for instance, hammers and mallets. Just hang them on the cleat just like they are. And then these guys are magnetic, so I can just kind of hang them up here on the screws that you can't see up under there. But they're up there and they're out of the way and I can get to them. So let's see what else we got. I think we're going to be on a new wall. What do you think, cameraman? Look. All right, let's work on another wall. All right, so went ahead and collected a bunch of it this time, so we're just going to go through it real quick. Got my corner squares, pens, pencils, punches, tape measures, all of my hand power tools, the batteries, the battery chargers. All this, again, made with just simple stuff that I had laying around for the most part. I did use a couple of good pieces of plywood there, but the rest of it was just cut off scraps that I had laying around. So again, you know, use what you got to get what you want. But we still got more to go. So we'll be back. All right, so you've gotten a chance to see all the tool holders and the different things that I made to be organized, but what you haven't seen is any workbenches. You got to have a place to work. So we're going to take a look at it now and kind of explain some of the principles that you need to keep in mind when you decide to build your first